what you can do is just go to aws.amazon.com, and most of the things they have it as a free tier, right? So up to 750 hours, they will just give you things for free. Like for example, I am also signed in right now, and I have a free account as well, and they do not charge up to 750 hours. And also depending upon what type of resource you use, they will keep charging you a different amount of money. So when you log in into AWS, as soon as you log in, so in this training, I will show you what are the topics that we will cover. Right, we are going to go over, we'll do it two ways. One is do it through the Amazon CLI, and the second one is we will also use this UI heavily. And so we will perform certain tasks from UI and certain tasks from CLI. So we will go over step by step thing, right? First, I'm gonna go over in detail about this compute section, how you can like create any resources in the cloud environment. Again, you can use, most of the time you are allowed to use Amazon CLI, but if you are a beginner, I would suggest to start with just with the UI portion. And as soon as you become an expert, it is just the CLI, right? So you can use the CLI and get your expertise there. So that's just one way. So that's what we will do. So the first step is go and start learning about how to create different type of cloud computers or instances over here. That is number one. Okay. Once that is done, then again you will just go over a lambda and all that. So this is more like the advanced stuff, lambda functions and out there. And after that, the I'm gonna cover all three topics in detail because I am using right now S3. S3 is more like a simple storage services that Amazon has. Then the elastic storage, EFS, and then the Glacier. So whenever most of the companies, what they do is like start moving all their data from their data center into S3. But mostly when you have to archive the data, right? Because archiving is gonna be always expensive operation. So when you archive the information, then it just goes to the Glacier. So it goes to this Glacier, and Glacier is more like a cheap storage that you have. And you can just set up a live object events onto the Glacier and start moving the data from S3 directly to Glacier. So we will go over that as well in the training. Now, in terms of databases, I'm pretty sure that you are a DB admin. So Amazon has, you can pretty much stand up any infrastructure in terms of database that you want. But Amazon has a nice concept of RDS, right? So that allows you to create a database and then do not worry about the load and everything. Based on your transactions, whatever you set up, right, it will automatically adjust its load, so you don't have to worry about the RDS side. At the same time, in this training, yeah, go ahead. What is RDS? RDS, yeah, I'll show you RDS. Yeah. So with the RDS, it is Amazon Relational Database Service, and you can stand up using this. You have an option to use either a PostgreSQL or MySQL, and there are like three other databases that they provide. So you can pick and choose any database, right? Whenever you stand, it's just a simple thing. You just go and click on Launch DB, and these are all the databases that you can configure when you are using RDS, like whether SQL Server, Oracle, PostgreSQL, MariaDB, or MySQL. Now, depending upon your DTUs, in Amazon they call it as a DTUs, about a transaction units. So depending upon that, you will pick, like if your transactions are higher than expected, then you will pick that according to that. So you just have to select the database and then just select the DTUs, the database transaction unit, and after that it will just create it for you. You can access it, right? Depending upon your network settings, you can configure it such a way that it can also be accessible through your local computer. You can do it that way. Now, most of the time, whenever you do the training, right, I'm always gonna stick with the free tier. The reason for that is when you are especially learning new things, I don't want you to like spend like thousands of dollars just on the infrastructure, right? So always, like whenever you stand up any cloud resource, it will be a free tier only. Make sense?
Okay.
Yeah. Then we will jump onto the, yeah, go ahead.
Just one question. What is this training about? So what I was looking for now, what I'm understanding is there are different services.
Yeah.
Those are called web services, right?
Yeah.
But like, I mean, I have no idea. I'm just thinking. I mean, will it be an architect or will it be
Yes,
a
yes, yes, yes.
service owner?
I'm gonna go over that. So
Training.
yes, so if you look at the Amazon site, right, this depending upon which side you want to go to, right, there are two things that you can do. Either they have an associate level, a certification, right, and the associate level you can, once you are done with the certification, we will you can go for this exam and you will be a certified architect, associate level architect with them, with AWS. Then you can also go towards the professional one, that's pretty much advanced. So I would say, like, first you can start with the associate and then jump onto the advanced level, right? That's one thing. After and based on your experience and everything, what my suggestion is, you should go for the architect one, solution architect associate. And whatever, we have both the paths right here for certification. There are total like 30 or 35 concepts that are there, that are common across most of the certification. And then there are some additional ones that differs by certification type. So if you go with the solution architect, then you will get slightly different certificates versus some other topics. Versus if you go with the sysops administrator, you will get certain other topic. But the majority topics are same, right? Only I would say like 30% topics are different depending upon what type of certification you pick. Now you can also think about a big data one, right? Amazon has a nice concept about EMR clusters, so Elastic Map Reducer, where you can run your Apache Spark, where you can run your big data jobs over there, where you can configure map reducer and everything. So that's out there as well. Now, if you just go to this website and just look at all the details, right? You will just find it all the detailed services. So for example, when I explain you, you will write this application for managing Amazon simple storage services. So we're gonna cover that topic: DynamoDB, simple queue services, Amazon simple notification services, elastic benchmark, and the cloud formation. So some of the topics, and this will prepare you for the certified developer position with AWS. Okay. So all the topics that you see here, that will target you towards one of the certification that Amazon has. And what my job is to make sure that whatever certification you pick, I will start managing your time according to that. Okay. So even if you look at the networking and content delivery, right, same thing, you have a VPCs. So we are going to learn how to create VPCs, how to create a subnets, how to create IPv4 addresses, how to assign the addresses, all these things, VPC, CloudFront, and the direct connect. So I'm going to go over that as well. uh, these are some of the advanced services: server migration and snowball, right? We may not be able to do the snowball at this point, and the reason for that is you need to stick, and snowball is required when you have to move like hundreds of terabytes of data into Amazon infrastructure, either from your data center to Amazon or from Amazon data center to your own data center, either ways, right? So you can just, it's more like the external hard drive. You just purchase them, somebody will plug in your snowball into the data center, you will copy the data or paste it into your network, whatever you want to perform. So we may not be able to do that. And then we will also go over some of the development tools out there that usually helpful to deploy your code, to manage your code. Also it works with GitHub, GitHub access also it will work. And then in the management tool, you will learn about how to manage all the cloud resources, right? So CloudWatch is one. Cloud formation is more like a template concept where you can just configure a template and stand up your infrastructure. So you can just configure a template and say, hey, I need like 4 EC2 instances, and that should have this setting. So you will just configure it as a template and then just run that workflow, and it will just show you all your infrastructure would be created. So you don't have to do it manually. This is one of the way where you can create the cloud formation template. Okay. uh,
Okay.
then this is most important as well. We are going to go over security and the comply identity, right? IAM. So with this, you can configure permissions for your cloud resources, right? So whatever cloud resources you have, you can create a user for your account. You can remove the user from your account. You can create the policies for your cloud infrastructure. All these things you will learn into this one.
So I don't need a background about, like, I'm mainly concerned about the networking part and that's the security thing.
You don't need any background, trust me. When I started, I thought same way. I'm like, oh, I need to be a network administrator for this. But technically now Amazon has created it such a way that even whatever is your background, even though your background is software development, you can just start going over all these things without it. It is like such a amazing that you can do everything from one command or use the UI to do all those things. So it works both the ways. From UI you will see how
So,
easy it is to create a subnets.
so you're telling me that, so, I mean, first we'll go, maybe 1 or 2 classes will go over this, and then I will decide like what certification I want, and then we'll accordingly go, will be like more focusing on uh, those topics. Is that how it works?
So
Or you're
what
saying
will
we'll cover
happen?
everything?
Yeah, whatever certification you decide, right? For first, I would say like 20 hours or so. It is just gonna be a lecture. It is common with any certification you pick. It's gonna be a common topics.
Okay.
Okay. When you pick
So
a specific certification, yeah,
how many hours you said? How many hours
I
in the
think 20
beginning?
hours or
So,
so. First 20 hours, it's just gonna be purely your common topics across any certification type.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
And
So
how many total hours are there for the course? Because I just got an email and a call, and I didn't ask all those questions. I don't know if I
yeah,
should ask you or.
I would suggest it is definitely gonna be more than a little bit more than 25 hours, but again, it also depends upon what type of certification you pick, right? It also depends on that. So sometimes if you pick solution architect, so each course has little bit different hours, and I will work out with you, regarding the hours and everything. We will work out together, right? But I'm just telling you for the
Okay,
common topics, you will have minimum 20 hours just for common. So before that, you don't need to worry about which certification you want to go to.
okay, got it.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is then this is all about the analytics, and this is most popular as well right now, right? And this ways we're gonna go in detail about the EMR, Elastic Map Reducer. This will show you how you can create the resources, how you can create a clusters, how you can add a task nodes, how you can add a data nodes, all these things. And even on this one, you will just use, for example, this is my cluster. I have created like one R3X. This is the instance type that I have created, and you can just also perform all the monitorings as well. So you can just run your big data jobs over here, and this is one of the most popular cluster that Amazon has right now. Most of the companies are using this EMR service right now for their analytics. So we'll go over that as well. And then mobile hub device farm messaging. So we're gonna go over simple queue messaging service, sorry, simple queue services or SQS. It's a similar to ActiveMQ. And also simple notification services, that is SNS, so that you get notification when your cloud resources goes down or when your cloud resources is having some trouble. You will get that messaging, right? Business productivity, we're not gonna go over that in this class. It is more like a Amazon Chime is more like a WebEx or like Adobe Connect that we have. You can also have a work emails if you want to configure it, but most of the time we use Outlook or so that is not required. So depending upon again what type of certification you use, we just gonna start going over different topics with it. Make sense?
Okay, and I'll get all the recordings.
uh,
Or
both of the things. You will also get more recorded sessions that I have, right? At the same time, you will also get like we will meet up, we'll determine the timings and everything, that how often we're gonna meet each other. And depending upon your schedule, my schedule, will figure out some time, and we will follow up every week that okay, I have completed 10 hours of video, and then I will ask you that hey, what are your questions you have from this 10 hours. So whatever topics you don't understand, we're gonna go over in detail, and then that's the way this entire thing will move forward.
okay, and any course materials like to read or anything, or
Course
math
material,
or
so for the course material, I'm still in a process to create the final exams. We have not done it yet, but it would be done as soon as your training is done. I can just start preparing all the questions for the final exam, so it's more like a practice test. But with Amazon, my suggestion is, even you have a course material right from the other sources, do not rely on them. Amazon website itself has such a amazing things out there. So what you will be getting, let me show you as well, right? All these things I have prepared all the PowerPoint slides right now. So there you go. So if I go into this is for the Azure course, right? Your course would be similar. So you will get all these PPTs like the way I have it over here. So that part, it is my job to give it to you. Okay, so all these things you will get, right, and that will show you all the details. And then when you look at my recordings with this PPTs, it will lined up one on one. And at the same time, I'm not just giving a presentations, right? I'm also giving live demos. So you literally go to, yeah, you can literally visit, or you can literally go to like Amazon site, AWS site, and start doing all the practice with me. So you just go, you just follow my steps that hey, I need to click here, perform this task. I need to click here, perform this task, like that. Make sense?
sure.
Yeah. So, you have to decide what type of certification you want to go to. But my suggestion is get started with any AWS course, and then, you can decide it later as well. Or just learn, if you are not worried about too much about certification, just learn all these things. It is going to be useful to you, right, in future, or even right now at work, because most of the companies are already moved to the cloud, or they are in process to move to the cloud. So this is gonna be very useful certification to have. Or even if you just learn about us some of the concepts, it's gonna be useful, because at work 90% times
Mhm.
your stuff would be converted to the cloud. So it would be very helpful to learn all these things. And I can show you what are the topics we have. Let me just pull that out. AWS, there you go. These are just some of the highlights like RDS, SNS, cleanup, cloud computing, CloudWatch, EC2 instance. So for example, if I just open EC2 instance, these are all the things I have in EC2, right? So that will show you all the details. At the same time, we will always schedule some time with each other, so that you will know if you have to create some extra, if you have some questions about some of the material, or if you have questions about some of the things, then you can easily ask me for that. Okay.
Okay.
Hi, who'd you join? You. I guess I saw Ravi Kishan. Ravi Kiran. Okay, he just left anyway. um does it make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, this is just based on my experience. Even my background was completely programming, but still I started learning since last 2 years. I started learning and even implementing now all this RDS, VPCs. So like right now for my work, I have a access for all these things. So I can spin up a VPC, I can spin up a subnet, I can create a server side encryption, client side encryption. I can create the cloud watches. I can spin up a EMR infrastructure. So all these things, I mean, it's pretty useful. Even like a simple queue service, that's pretty useful. So my suggestion is you should learn about all the concepts that we have.
Sure. So are you certified for any of these Amazon services?
Yes, I am.
Any
Yes,
course?
I am certified for
Okay.
the solution architect one, and that is the very difficult certification. So I have that certification, yeah,
Okay.
and the professional one that I have.
Okay. And how much is the fee? Do you know, or for this
It
course?
may
I mean,
have
since like
changed. I can show you. It usually varies sometimes. So let me just check it right now. For professional, it is not that expensive. I mean, yeah, $300. I think when I gave it, it was like 250 or something. But now it may be less for the associate one. Let me double check that. Yeah, it's just 150. See, there you go. So I gave a professional, and that time it was like $250. But now it is like 150 for associate and $300 for the professional one.
no, I'm sorry. I think you're telling me the certification fee, right? I'm saying
Yes.
for this course.
Oh, that you have to work out with the training coordinator. I don't know what kind of prices they set it with you guys. I have no idea about that. So it's better like whoever you are following with. There are multiple options out there, right? Like AWS certification, solution architect. So depending upon what course you decide, right? You just have to discuss with them regarding the fees and everything.
Okay. Because I just got a call last night that to join the session today, and then I got an email with all the information like the PIN number and the number to dial in.
Yeah.
So I didn't know how long the course would be, how many hours. That's what
It
that.
would be definitely more than 20 hours, definitely. Okay, because I have created the videos, so I know exactly. It is close to 25 hours, and then whatever certification you pick, whether it's a certified as whether it's a certified one or whether it is a solution architect one, it will vary. I mean, so whatever certification you pick, it's going to be different.
Okay.
Now, uh, so these are the things I already showed you, and I will cover everything in detail. And plus, I will make sure that you will get certified. If you are planning to get certification after this course, you should be able to pass the certification exam. That's for sure. Uh, and it's just gonna be like 2 hour exam as you see it on the screen, right? 2 hour exam, and all the topics you will be expert at it. All right. Any other question that you have?
No.
Okay. All right. So, which certification you are thinking? I mean, solution architect side or developer side?
No, I probably will go with solution architect.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think that it is not easy, I understand, but it is doable, then I will prefer. I don't like development kind of stuff.
Yeah, just that's my recommendation too. That's how I did it. Like when I went for certification, I did it exactly same way. I just applied for professional certification and I got the exam and everything cleared as well. So yeah. So then that would be easy as well, right, for you. At the same time, are you going to, if you have a need to look for any jobs, right? If you are thinking, we do have a parent company that does marketing and everything. So in case if you are interested after this training that you want to become AWS solution architect, they will start marketing your resume with the different clients as well. So, but I do not get involved into that part. It is just the other company, but it's a parent company of e-learning, and they will perform all these things for you after this training. And trust me,
Okay,
it is a
great.
great
Yeah.
thing. If you think about right now, AWS is one of the like grow, and you can just feel it. The Amazon stock price right now, it's just drastically going up, right? The main reason is
Right.
the AWS because most of the company now, Even my company, we have a data center like in Alpharetta area in Georgia. The same thing, it just gonna shut down, and all the resources are already moving into AWS cloud right now. So it is very, I mean, it most of the companies are adopting. At the same time, it is very cheap to move your resources into the cloud environment. And plus, think about the computing power that they have. I mean, you can spin up uh, 300 CPUs in less than 5 minutes. So that's the kind of computing power they have. So if sometimes when I have a big job that I have to run, and if I know that if I want to buy this infrastructure, it's gonna cost me like 500, $600,000, versus if I go to Amazon and just rent this infrastructure for like 1 hour, I just pay maybe $10,000 for 1 hour for the same infrastructure that if I buy, it's that expensive. But when I'm done with my job, I just terminate all the resource, and that's what we will do it in this training as well. We will just terminate all the resources as soon as we are done with this.
So do you guys do budgeting as well, like before thinking like what has to be done, like
Yeah, so
cloud?
based on the way Amazon, if you go to their calculator, right, AWS has a nice calculator.
Right.
So first of all, whenever we have to move any resources to the cloud, first it's just gonna be the comparison, right? What infrastructure we have and how much it's costing us right now at this infrastructure, our current one. And then if we go to cloud, sometimes the amount is same, but we are getting more benefits if we go to the cloud. Sometimes it's a much cheaper, and then we decide to go in a cloud. And sometimes the computing power that we have at the data center, that's not sufficient. So then we just decide that, hey, let's just go to the cloud so that at least we have more computing power. Because most of the time when you have to resolve a business problem, it is like a time thing, right? That you have to finish it within like a week. We want to know. Sometimes they expect that within like 5 minutes we want to know if something is happening. If there are some analytics that should produce the output, we want to know in 5 minutes. So that time we can just estimate that what infrastructure we have will not support the kind of work that we have to do. Then the only option is just go to the cloud and provision that infrastructure, lease it for few hours or maybe for few days or few months. And Amazon has a separate pricing for reserved instances, for hourly instances. And even if you go and like a eBay type of market, you bid the instance that I want this instance for 10 cents or for 20 cents per hour. You just bid for that instance and they will provision it for you. So there are a lot of benefits, I mean, and trust me, when you learn this thing, you will realize it. What are the benefits for whether you are a database guy or you are a programmer? One day or another, you have to go over here, in the cloud. There is no way, I mean, that we're gonna do the same work that we used to do before 4 years ago. It will be in cloud for sure.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And plus, think about the market rate as well, right? For AWS Solution Architect, nowadays their minimum market rate is like $100, $150 per hour. That's how much money it is, over there. So it's a great field compared to a programming. Just if you know a programming versus if you know all those things like AWS infrastructure, that's a good amount of money, right there. So my suggestion is, if you are thinking to change your career, this is one of the great thing to do, I mean, or to start it.
Sure.
Okay. All right, any other question that you have?
No, the thing is, so how do I mean, I should reply back to the email and ask them all the details, or how do I mean, or
That's what
yeah,
my suggestion is.
or
I don't know the exact pricing and everything, right? So I would suggest just to contact them and just to check about the
okay,
pricing and everything. They will work out with you, because I do not get involved into the pricing thing.
okay.
Yeah. I think Sushmita, are you on call as well, right? Hey, Sushmita?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. Yeah, so for that, you can just revert back to your learning line and they will assist you in all the other questions outside the administrative questions. Let me put it